Welcome back to the second part of what's the difference between men and women? This is the Peony edition, talking about how men differ from women in how they like to be approached. Let's get on with it. So what we learned in the previous part, which was part 1, as you would numerically expect, where we focused on women, is that women like to complain and men like to brag. There's a lot of neurochemical and biological explanations about this that go back to caveman times, and we could delve into them if you want, but if you just want the raw facts of how to get what you want out of life by stepping on the necks of others, is that in general, obviously, like when I write this, there's going to be a million comments as always of people going that I'm a woman and I don't feel like that at all. Don't bullshit. You're just a sexist. That's the usual explanation. Keep them coming. More comments equals more views. Thank you so much for writing those. I don't care at this point about either, except for the negative ones. And we'll learn out why. So the reason why that's the deal is that women in general are more insecure than men are. Men, and I don't like this definition of ego because I think that there's a more Buddhist approach to it that I like, but in general, men have bigger egos than women. So, women are always just focusing on like, it's not fair, the world's specifically against me, while guys are always like, I'm better than the world, right? Like, better than the entire globe and every living thing on it, surely. That's how men and women think, right? And then, again, generalization. All self-help is a generalization because it's about a roadmap that makes the life easier for you to navigate. It's not about individual. Look, the point is, these generalizations, get over them. Now, what happens with men and what they like as opposed to what women want? So women in a relationship are constantly, if you listen to it, and the data that speaks on it, I think it was from John Gottman's book. He's got 4 of them. Can't remember which one. But anyway, he was talking about the fact that women are constantly bidding for their male partner's attention in getting them to listen to their problems and ailments. While the guy, when they're in a negative state and they're in a grumpy mood, what men do is that they retreat from the relationship. So women, when they've got a problem, they come up and go, and the guy, when he has a problem, just goes and goes into a little cave and just sits there kind of like Gollum for the next 500 years going, right? While women come up and go to the guy. So it's a completely different approach to dealing with issues. And there's many instances that I think will just get rectified when you understand the life lesson from probably the best seminar on this specific instance, which is Love Island. I watched the entire show, every single episode. It was on 5 days a week, and I couldn't get enough. So that's your self-help tip for the day as well, is that watch shitty Australian reality TV shows, specifically on Go. But there was one instance that always sticks in my head because it's just such a perfect example of what he's talking about, which is that one of the ape guys in there, I can't remember which name it was because it's a reality TV show, so all you can remember is the guy with brown hair that had a pink background versus the guy with blonde hair that had a blue background. Ooh, slightly more muscly, so he gets the blue one. And they were having an argument and just going into chimp mode, going and then obviously because he just didn't have anywhere near the level of muscle that guy had, he went and ran away, ran out of the house and started sulking. What did his girlfriend do? She went, fuck my life, and went up to him, and then started going, baby, what's the matter? Look at me, baby. While he's going, oh, go away, Tula. I'm asking you to leave me alone. Fuck off, Tula. That's the communication styles simplified. That's why I like looking at apes. That's why I like looking at dumb, tradie bogans on those shows, because they're just one level up from ape. They're just an ape in swimmers. That's it. And so that's what we would do. When they have a problem, they're like, what's the matter? Guys don't want to talk about the problem. They want to be left alone. What they want when they're feeling sulky is they want someone to come up and go, baby, you're so good, baby. Oh my God, look at those muscles. You could have beat him in the fight for sure. That's what they want to hear. They want to hear praise. Women want to hear understanding. They want to hear someone just sit there and be like, I know, that is terrible, isn't it? It's just, everyone in this situation is wrong except for you. But guys don't want to hear anything about the problem. They kind of want to forget that it exists. First of all, they want to sulk and be left alone. But then after that, what they want to hear is someone to just pump up their ego again. Just imagine, if you're a woman in a relationship with a guy, what you want to be is an air pump. That's what you want to imagine your mouth as. It's just like, baby, you're so strong, so handsome, oh my god, you're so smart. You want that. If you're a guy, what you want to imagine yourself as is just one of those nodding birds in The Simpsons that goes, just agreeing with everything that she says, going, I know, it's just so unfair. It's not going to work for every relationship. Mine is completely different to that, because I'd imagine that in my relationship, I'm more of the woman, that I'm always been like, you just never talk to me. Or my girlfriend is constantly being like, look, it was a hard day at work, alright? I just want to forget my problems and go and watch the nice pictures. So there's going to be reversals in these relationships. And it really depends a lot on, so obviously my style of communication, when I'm saying that the guy wants to be praised, there's a huge bias in that, which is that there's 5 love languages. And one of the love languages is speaking. The most simple one of all. I respond to that. So when I want to be praised, I want somebody to actually say things that are nice to me. Now there's all different types of love languages, but the 5 main ones are giving things to people, doing things for people, and the other 2 I can't remember, but I'll go look them up. Sorry if you're those 2, but such it. So, I hope that you learned something today, and if you didn't learn anything, come tune in next week. You might learn something then. If you didn't learn something then, don't unsubscribe. That's really rude. I'll see you next week. Actually, no, I might see you this week as well. It's just so easy. I love this format, as opposed to sitting there for a week reading articles going, fucking Howard, and then having to edit it all. How much better is it just talking, a lot of sentences not making sense, and then me going afterwards, does that make sense? That's it.